computer. All right, good evening, everyone. This is Christina Campbell. I am so happy to be here with you tonight. We're going to be talking about a healthy immune system. And in light of all that has been going on this entire summer, I think that this is a subject that is well worth taking notes on and just being aware of maybe what you might be able to do to, keep yourself strong, keep yourself healthy. And I know that I have been incredibly healthy. Many of us, Jillian is one of those as well, have been on the Master Cleanse now for, I was 25 days total in the last 2 months. And Jillian, you're probably near 30. Are you on it now?
No, I stopped when we stopped this last 10 day, and I'm going to go back on the 9th, the next one.
On the 9th of next month? Yeah.
On the 9th, the next one starts in a couple days.
Oh, okay. So you guys are in the...
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah,
starts tomorrow.
That's Marcella von Harding's group?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that that'll be a pretty dynamic group. And one of the things that I know that we have learned about the Master Cleanse, and I really, really highly encourage anyone to do the Master Cleanse, a minimum of 10 days. You can't do a Master Cleanse for 3 days. You can't do a Master Cleanse for 5 days. You need to do it 10 entire days because it takes that long for you to start getting that waste. And I'm spelling that W-A-S-T-E. You'll also lose some W-A-I-S-T, but it's the W-A-S-T-E that we really need to purge and get out. And then you can start rebuilding. And, the Master Cleanse is called a mono diet. So you're not fasting without anything. You're getting plenty of nutrients. I know that Sandy Rausch, and I don't know if she's on tonight, but she might show up later. She's done 100 days this summer. She did 100 days. She's lost, I think, 47 pounds. She feels great all the time. So these are some of the things that we need to look seriously about while we're, semi-quarantine, if you want to call it that. While we're not intermingling a lot in society, take that time, reflect, and think about your health and how important it is to stay healthy during this time. All right, let's get started. What you're going to learn tonight is the importance of a healthy immune system and what part immunity plays in our overall health. We hear about immunity all the time, but what part does it really play? We're going to talk about the different organs. There's 2 major places that I would consider the seat of a healthy immune system, and we're going to discuss those tonight. What function the cells play in the immune system process. I'm just going to go through a little, little pictures to help you see how the process works. And some disorders of a compromised immune system. We'll talk about autoimmune deficiency disorders and then how we can support it. We're going to wrap it up with what oils, supplements, what healthful practices you can use and do to support that immune system. All right, let's get started. So the immune system is the biological structures and processes that are within the body that protects us against disease. The immune system literally kills pathogens and cells that may end up as tumors. Your body can take care of all of that. You don't need to cut it out. You don't need to radiate it. What you do need to do is make sure that you're healthy enough that your body has the ability to fight those things off. The immune system also detects a wide variety of agents, from everything from viruses, bacteria, parasites, parasitic worms, foreign objects that might get into the body, molds, funguses. It distinguishes the body's own healthy cells and tissues in order to function properly. So it's very intelligent. It has a complicated detection system, as pathogens actually can evolve rapidly and adapt to the immune system, allowing pathogens to successfully infect the body. That happens in our environment as well. We're basically going to talk about inside of us, but at the same time, we can look at how we are helping pathogens evolve rapidly by using chemicals such as chemical hand sanitizer. We are actually causing the evolution of bacteria and viruses to get to be superbugs. We call them superbugs, or stronger bacteria and viruses, by using antibacterial soaps, dish soaps, like Dial. And I mean, there's just a litany of those types of things out there. But this hand sanitizer, this chemical hand sanitizer, there should only be, if you are using a hand sanitizer, there should only be one that you're using, and that's Thieves, because that will not alter the strength and biochemistry of these pathogens. So that's the only one you should be using. All right, let's talk about the organs of the immune system, major organs. First of all, I don't really consider the bone marrow as an organ, but it's in the skeletal system, so we will look at it in as a system, because these are where the cells of the human immune system are formed. They are responsible for the production of important immune system cells like B cells, like granulocytes, excuse me. The T cells are natural killer cells, and immature thymocytes. And they mature in the thymus. And we're going to talk about that. We'll actually see some pictures of that. The bone marrow also produces red blood cells and platelets, but some of that is taken care of in the pancreas as well. The thymus gland is located in the upper chest region, and it produces scores of lymphocytes, and these are white blood cells. White blood cells are the fighter cells. These are the good guys in the bloodstream, lymphocytes. There's leukocytes and there's lymphocytes, and both of these are a form of white blood cell. Immature cells produced at the bone marrow migrate to mature in the thymus gland. The thymus only allows beneficial T cells to be released into the bloodstream. And we're going to see a picture of this. And it eliminates T cells that evoke a detrimental autoimmune response. So the thymus is a very, very important or integral part of a healthy immune system. The spleen, oh, that's what I meant. I did not mean the pancreas. I said pancreas, I meant spleen. So bear with me. The spleen is found under the left rib cage. You can feel it's like immediately across from your liver. It holds a reservoir of blood and platelets. It destroys old red blood cells there, and it functions as a lymph gland to actually filter the blood. So we have many organs that filter the blood: the liver, the kidneys, and the spleen. But you can actually live without a spleen. But the healthier our spleen is, the more it's going to do its job, and the healthier we will be. Oops, I got to turn on my lights. Hold on a minute. I feel like I'm sitting in the dark. There we go. All right, put a little light on the subject. So So the lymph nodes also play a big part in filtering. They filter the interstitial fluid. That's the fluid in between the organs, in between the blood platelets, and they filter these cells, and they're situated throughout the lymphatic system, so they're all over your body. We know that when our lymph nodes swell, we feel, you know, maybe a mass in our neck, behind our ear, maybe under the arm, but they're throughout the whole body. There are a lot of them under the arm. They act as an immunologic filter, and they drain the lymph from most of the body tissues. They filter out antigens, and antigens are protein substances that actually, when the body rejects them, we have allergies, or when they're introduced and the body does not deal well with them, we have allergic symptoms. We might have allergies to dander or pollen. That is all protein, and it is an antigen. These are antigens. So it filters out these antigens. So if you have a lot of allergies, then one of the main things that you should be looking at is getting that lymph flowing so that it can filter that interstitial fluid. And one of the best ways to get your lymph flowing is, do you know what a rebounder is? It's a little mini trampoline. Everybody should have one of those. Another really good thing is, and Gary had one of these in his gym, he had a big, Gary Young, he had a big, thick plate that would vibrate. Anything that you can get on that could vibrate you, there's body vibrators that you can buy, you know, and I'm talking where you stand on it and it's vibrating your entire body. That is going to get that lymph flowing as well, or a rebounder. And when you're on a rebounder, you want to make sure that you're pushing off with your foot and then ending with your toes to really give that lymphatic pump around your ankle a good go. So in our essential oils desk reference, I don't know if they still have it in the newer editions, but in the older editions, it has what we call the lymphatic pump. And you can do it to anyone. And it's merely holding on to the ankle and then just pumping that foot back and forth. It's the same action that you're going to have if you're on a rebounder. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so other things that really support the lymphatics are two oils, ledum and grapefruit. And if you want to get that lymph moving, if you need to, you know, support that lymphatic system, you can put a whole bottle of grapefruit and a whole bottle of ledum in an 8-ounce bottle of massage oil and just massage yourself every morning, every night, after shower. This will really increase lymphatic health. Also, our deodorants are lymphatic detoxifiers. So I know many women, that not only use the deodorant under their arm, but they put it under their breasts and even across their chest. It's refreshing. I mean, I like the Meadow or the Mountain Mint, and it's just like adding some, you know, some oils to your skin, except that it's diluted to a certain degree. You can even put it along the neck if you choose. I mean, you know, deodorant is, our deodorant is essential oils that help to combat bacteria, but also it has a pleasant scent. So it's good for a number of reasons. Okay, another really important organ or system is the digestive system. And this is probably what I call the seat of the immune system. So this is the large and the small intestine. And this system houses over 700 species of bacteria. And they perform a variety of functions. And these are good bacteria. They should be. We do have bad bacteria as well. But if we have a healthy gut, we should not have an overgrowth of bad bacteria, as in the case of Candida or parasites. That's not really bacteria, but you can have an overgrowth of parasites as well. It produces antibodies in that gut that are effective against pathogens. And those antibodies can prevent infection or invasion. One of the things I found in my years of working with people is that those who have been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis tend to have a very unhealthy gut. And one of the common threads is that they usually, and I would say 9 out of 10, consume aspartame in some form or another. And most of them are very addicted to it. And I believe that that has a lot to do with brain health as well. So staying away from these chemicals so that our bodies can do the work that they were meant to be created to do is really important. The immune system, the large and small intestine, produces enzyme to detoxify these antigens. So a lot of times when we find children, new children, young children with a lot of allergies or asthmas, they have had multiple vaccinations, and so chemicals have been injected into their bloodstream, and it causes the body not to work properly. And genetically modified foods affect the enzymes in the gut. So it's really important. And I can't stress it enough, and I think I talk about it just about every single week. How important it is to stay away from genetically modified foods with chemicals in them. Because we need those enzymes to detoxify the antigens and xenobiotics, those chemicals such as drugs. And the large and small intestine is the home to health-enhancing friendly bacteria, as I mentioned, promoting immune system health. Okay, the appendix is also something that's very important because it contains abundant infection-fighting lymphoid cells. If you have had your appendix removed, it's just that you're lacking that storage area where those infection-fighting cells are found. You're not going to die, because you don't have an appendix, but those who still have their appendix just will have increased health. It protects beneficial bacteria in the gut. It's a haven for this useful bacteria, and it helps recovery from illness by providing a safe house for beneficial bacteria. Pyre patches are patches of lymphoid tissue that are usually found in the lowest portion of the small intestine, and they help facilitate the immune response as well. Our tonsils and our adenoids. These are lumpy clusters of spongy tissue that help protect from infection. They are the gatekeepers so that when we breathe in, if we have our mouth open, they can trap harmful bacteria and viruses. They contain cells that make antibodies to help your body fight infection. And it's especially important for babies and children. And that's why you'll find that if if you remember maybe having a lot of tonsillitis, it was because your body was doing everything that it could as a young child to fight off bacteria and viruses. Our adenoids play a big part when we're young, but they usually shrink after about the age of 5. And by the time we become teenagers, they're almost gone. That they're there to protect us when we're little. Recurrent tonsillitis may be due to a compromised immune system. So if your kids are getting tonsillitis, then what I recommend is that you start building their immune system. Okay, there are 2 types of immunity. There's an innate and there's a non-specific immunity. The innate or non-specific these are the natural killer cells and the phagocytes. And they are programmed to recognize alien or hostile pathogens and destroy them. Whenever I give this class, I always think about Army training, because many of you know I was in the Army for 11 years, 3 months and 15 days, but who's counting, right? And one of the things that we learned is how to deploy, how to kill, how to fight, how to protect our country. And that's exactly what phagocytes and natural killer cells do. They are the Army troops. Now, we could bring in the Air Force too, because, you know, we have those fighter jets, those fighter planes. Got to talk about the Air Force. We got Jillian on, and we got Gwendolyn or Faye on. I saw she came on. So they come in, they fly in, and they destroy the enemy, right? And then there are specific immunity cells. And these are lymphocytes. And I was talking about these earlier because these are the white blood cells, the white blood corpuscles. And they recognize specific alien and hostile pathogens as well, and they attack to destroy with a specific protein. And that is an antibody. That's what kills the pathogen. So these 2 types of cells have limited functions, but they guard us, they protect us, and they usher specific pathogens out of the body. There are 2 types of lymphocyte cells. One of them is called the B cells, and they're produced in the bone marrow, like I was mentioning earlier, and they're dispatched throughout the body, and they congregate in the nodes of the lymphatic system. These B cells do. And then we have T cells, and these are produced in the bone marrow, and then they're the ones that are sent to the thymus gland. These are the killer cells. They're sent to the thymus gland, and there is where they wait until they mature, and then when they are needed to fight invaders, then they're deployed. Just like the ground troops, then they're deployed, or the fighter jets, then they're deployed. These 2 cells are the leaders of our immune system, and they learn and they adapt and they remember. But remember something, that bacteria and viruses learn, they adapt, and they remember. So that's why we have to be vigilant. We can't say, oh, I'm just gonna, you know, not take care of my temple. I'm not gonna take care of my body because it'll take care of itself. Well, with all the, what do I call them? I call them these mighty bacteria. With all of this stuff that's out here now, all these strong viruses that are taking out, you know, many people, we have to be ready. We have to prepare our bodies so that when we're attacked, we can execute, our bodies will execute when it's needed. Okay, I thought this was always interesting, and I know for those of you who have heard this class before, you might remember this, but in South Korea, Taiwan, and Japan, people commonly engaged in what they call forest bathing. And what they're doing is they're going out into the forest to breathe in phytoncides that are emitted by plants and trees. Now think of these as the aromatic molecules that are coming out of the plants and trees in order to improve their health. They're going out and they're breathing in. For example, if you were to go up to Fort Nelson, where this is in British Columbia, where our black spruce forest is, you could do this. You could stand out in there. And when I was in Highland Flats and did the distillation of Idaho Grand Fir and Idaho Blue Spruce, we literally were in the forest with the trees, and we were getting healthy by being out there. Data indicates that these essential oils, these wood essential oils that we breathe in, significantly enhance human natural killer cells and the activity by preventing the growth of the attacking organism. So, you know, we don't get a chance to get out into nature as much as we should, to smell the roses, so to speak. But when you do, take advantage of it and breathe in deep and bathe in what God has given us to protect our bodies. This is, and I'm going to make this bigger. This is the cycle. I hope you can see that. This is the cycle when a foreign substance or an antigen enters the body and it initiates an immune system response. So we look at number one. This little yellow ball is our virus, which is trying to get in and infect our body or our cells, and it displays these little things on here are viral antigens. These are protein based. This blue mass here is a macrophage, which engulfs the virus and the viral antigen. It has its own antiviral antigens, viral antigens as well. So it engulfs it. Then the macrophages, this blue mass, activates the helper T cells. And so let's look at the helper T cell as this orange. That's the helper T cell. That's the killer cell. It goes from 3 to 4, where the helper T cell active and the cytotoxic T and B cells begin to attack the virus. So we go to number 5, which is the B cell. The B cells form plasma cells, and so they encompass. It makes the antibodies which bind to the viral antigen. These are the little antibodies, these little Y's here. And here's the viruses. And these little antibodies are going to bind to this. So it's been engulfed, it's being bound to, and eventually it's going to destroy it. So the antibodies attach to the virus in the infected body cells, and it signals for their destruction. Here's the infected body cell, and then the cytotoxic T cell destroys the infected body cell. It destroys it. Our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made. These wonderful antibodies are released to counter these antigens, thereby freeing the body of infection. So if you're suffering with allergies, it's probably because you don't have enough antibodies and you have too many antigens. The system of teamwork among the organs of the immune system is simply magnificent, as I said. So how do we support our immune system with therapeutic grade oils? That's probably what you're here for tonight. You want to find out how we can keep healthy so that our bodies have the ability to fight off these things. And I will tell you from my perspective of 21 years experience with Young Living, ImmuPower is probably one of the strongest oil blends when you're feeling under the weather. ImmuPower is a blend of oils like hyssop. We know that hyssop was used by the children of Israel when the night before their exodus from Egypt, because there was a death angel coming through, and it was going to kill the firstborn son of every family if they didn't take a hyssop branch and strike the lintels and the doorposts of their home to release those aromatic molecules, those phytoncides, to protect them from a virus. You know, back in the day when they were explaining things like the death angel and the bubonic plague, we didn't have microscopes. We didn't know what bacteria and viruses were. All we knew was that something came through and people got sick and people died. And I know now that the death angel only meant that there was a plague coming through, that there was something that if you didn't protect yourself, you were going to get. So hyssop is the one of the number one oils in this blend. Another oil in this blend is Ravensara. And Ravensara is a single oil that is very, very powerful. In fact, I'm going to give you a little information from the EODR on Ravensara. It's an incredible oil. Oh, and by the way, Ravensara is spelt two different ways, but it's the same oil. So it might be spelt Ravensara or Ravensara. It has been referred to by the people of Madagascar as the oil that heals, the healing oil. It is highly antimicrobial and supporting to the nerves and the respiratory system. This is really where we need to focus, is the respiratory system right now. It's also been known to be clarifying, stimulating, and purifying. It helps to clear brain fog, and it helps to strengthen motivation. It's anti-tumoral. Remember how I said that the body has the ability to actually destroy tumors? Well, when we give the body God's natural aromatic substances in concert with what our body does best, then it just bumps up that antiviral and antibacterial ability. It's used for colds and respiratory infections, throat and lung infections, even hepatitis, shingles, and pneumonia. And we know that shingles is herpes zoster, so it's a virus. And you can diffuse it, you can directly inhale it, but I recommend applying it on the bottom of the feet, around the navel, the chest, the temples, the wrists. Just get it into the body. And if you have skin sensitivity, you might want to dilute it with some V6, but I put ImmuPower straight on the bottom of my feet. And people who know me know that I am extremely sensitive and I don't have any problem with this. This also has clove in it, which is the highest antioxidant oil on the planet with an ORAC rating of over 1 million. It has mountain savory, which is very close in healing abilities, as is oregano. And both mountain savory and oregano are in this oil. Frankincense, we know that frankincense heals everything from a broken head to a broken toe, so it should be in here. And cumin. Cumin is a very powerful essential oil. And I'm going to give you a little information on cumin as well. Cumin. Here it is. It is Well, the Hebrews used to use cumin as an antiseptic for circumcision. In ancient Egypt, it was also used in mummification and in cooking. It too is antitumoral, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial. It is a digestive aid. Cumin is a digestive aid, and that's why you're going to find it in Detoxzyme. And if you have Detoxzyme and you want to protect or build that immune system, then I recommend taking 10 before you go to bed at night. And whenever I have an issue, I take a minimum of 10 a day, up to 30 a day. They're very tiny, very, very tiny. So taking a handful of 10 is nothing. And I've done it many hundreds of times. It's also a liver protectant, cumin is. And so, and it's an immune stimulant, and that's why it's in ImmuPower. Another really great oil that you find in ImmuPower is cistus. And if you have the biblical oils, you're going to have some of these. You're going to have frankincense, you're going to have hyssop, you're going to have cistus. Cumin was found in Protec as well, and we used to use that for prostate cancer. It's a powerful, powerful oil. But cistus is really great for the regeneration of cells. It is also antiviral, antibacterial, anti-hemorrhagic. So people who have bleeding, and I know somebody called me this week and asked me what oil is good for bleeding. And I said geranium. We came to the conclusion it was geranium, but cistus is also a very, very good oil as far as stopping bleeding. It supports the sympathetic nervous system, and it is an immune stimulant. We also have oregano. Most of you know what the healthy properties of oregano are. And Idaho tansy. Tansy is a powerful oil, and that's why you're going to find it in our liver oils, all of our Juva oils, and in many, many blends. Gary put tansy in because he knew the properties of tansy and how powerful they were. In fact, I think I should just quickly look up Idaho tansy here. We also get our tansy out of Fort Nelson. Yeah, Idaho tansy is antimicrobial, and it is an immune stimulant. It's also an anticoagulant, antiviral, and it is in parafree. So it's anti-parasitic as well. Very powerful oils. Whenever I feel a little under the weather, I reach for ImmuPower. I put a few drops on the bottom of my feet and I go to bed. By the next morning, I'm good to go. Usually what I'll do is I'll take a hot bath. I might put ImmuPower in the tub. I will dilute it with either Epsom salts or bath gel, the unscented bath gel. And then those pores are wide open. And then that's when I put that ImmuPower on the bottom of my feet. And I'm usually good to go the next morning. Here is a testimonial on an ImmuPower from Sonia out of Nebraska. And she said, I was about 2¼ years past having chemo for colon cancer. And the chemo was for 6 months, 1 week on and 3 weeks off. My reaction to the chemo was harsh. I lost most of my hair, which is unusual, and had terrible mouth sores. I thought it was all over, but 6 months ago, I had a skin eruption on both my lower legs in the front. No itching or other adverse complaints. My oncologist asked me to get checked by a dermatologist, which I did. And we tried some of the prescribed ointments, but they didn't work. Scrapings did not show spores or molds, so she took a biopsy and it was negative for cancer or pre-cancer. I felt it might be latent chemo reaction. Hard to believe my liver function tests have been good, but I felt intuitively that my immune system might need a boost. So I started applying ImmuPower essential oil twice a day over my liver and on the soles of my feet. And within a week, the sores have abated and I returned to the dermatologist in 2 weeks. And I think she'll be surprised. This is a great testimony. Other immune stimulating oils. Frankincense was mentioned because it was in ImmuPower, but lemon is awesome for increasing the production of leukocytes in the bone marrow. If you've heard me before, you've heard me say that. You can inhale it or you can diffuse it. You can drink it in pure water. You can take it in capsules. In 1995, my university study found that citrus fragrances not only boosted immunity, they induced relaxation and they reduced depression. Frankincense can be inhaled, diffused. It can be put on location on the VitaFlex points on the bottom of the feet and taken as a dietary supplement in a capsule. So these are two very powerful oils as well. And we need to do these things on a daily basis. Please do not wait until you do not feel well before you start treating yourself. That's not how we do it. This is a lifestyle. We do our oils every single day without fail. Without fail, to keep our bodies healthy. I thank God every day that He has given us these oils to protect our bodies in these days of the plague. Here are the immune system VitaFlex points that I've been talking about. I don't pay particular attention to these. I put it all over the bottom of my feet. And I figure it's going to get somewhere, somehow, some way. But if you're very, fastidious about where you put your oils, you can put them specifically on the immune system VitaFlex points, which include the thymus, the spleen, the small intestine, that's going to cover those pyre patches, and the appendix, where that plethora of good bacteria resides. I had mentioned that mountain savory and oregano are really great companion oils. They're very much alike. Mountain savory smells a lot like, that type of plant. They're both immune stimulants. They're both antibacterial and antiviral. They're both antiseptic and antimicrobial. And mountain savory showed anti-HIV-1 activity in studies published in 1998. And we know that the HIV is a virus that affects the T cells. It actually kills the T cells, and so it kills the killer cells. It overruns them. Oregano is a powerful anti-infectious agent for respiratory, for nerves, for blood, and for the lymphatics, including the spleen. And it has a large spectrum action against mycobacteria and viruses. So you can apply these to the bottoms of the feet. You can get a raindrop with oregano, and you can ask your facilitator to use some additional mountain savory. If you have it, bring it and have her apply that as well, especially if you're fighting something. Egyptian gold and Exodus 2. Exodus 2 is back in stock, but we're having trouble getting Egyptian gold right now. But both of these are very, very empowering to the entire body. You can diffuse these. Egyptian gold and Exodus 2, these are Kenneth's favorite. In fact, we make a nose swipe out of both of these, which we've given you the recipe in the past. We take the oils and we put them in animal scents because animal scents is less expensive than the rose ointment. And it's a nice ointment that coats the inside of the nose very well. And of course, we know that the nose is another gatekeeper to keep bacteria and viruses from entering the body. And if we can bump up that gatekeeper by using the nose swipe, all the better. Egyptian gold has an aromatic, enchanting scent, and both have possibly skin sensitivity, so you might want to dilute, especially Exodus 2, because it has more cinnamon in it, I think, than Egyptian gold. And cinnamon bark is very antiviral. So that's why these oils are so good, these blends. So Egyptian gold has frankincense, hyssop, lavender, myrrh, cedarwood, balsam fir or grand fir, spikenard, rose, and cinnamon. And many of you may still have bottles of Egyptian gold around, you know, from stocking up. And I always recommend you stock up for times like these. It's better to have the oils and not need them than to need them and not have them. And we know what a run we had on our hand sanitizer in the first couple of months of COVID. I think somebody said we went through 800 million bottles. I mean, it was just some absurd number. Exodus 2 contains the essential oils of cassia, which is a form of cinnamon. It's very highly antiviral. Calamus, spikenard, myrrh, galbanum, frankincense, cinnamon bark, and hyssop. Very good immune supporting oils. And of course, you shouldn't be without Thieves. Thieves is a household given. It was inspired by the legend of the four 15th century French thieves who formulated a special aromatic combination that was composed of clove, rosemary, and other botanicals that they used on their bodies, in their clothing, while robbing the dead and dying. So this is Young Living's one-of-a-kind Thieves blend, and it was crafted in the spirit of that legendary combination. And it can be found in all of our Thieves products. And you know, the beauty of it was, even though we sold 800 million bottles of hand sanitizer, we never ran out of Thieves. We ran out of the bottles. Our suppliers couldn't get us the bottles fast enough. So they started putting it in massage bottles. Young Living was innovative enough, creative enough to say, you know what, we don't have to keep this from the people. We'll just change the packaging. And that's what they did so that they could provide us with what we needed. Thieves supports a healthy immune system, especially when taken internally. It has eucalyptus radiata essential oil in it, which can help maintain a healthy respiratory system. And it is a great dietary supplement to complement a daily wellness regime. Either one capsule full of Thieves or an Inner Defense. Inner Defense is a bottle that's, it has capsules in it that are already made up with Thieves. It has Thieves and thyme and oregano and some carrier oil. Another thing that you can do, especially if you're feeling a little under the weather, maybe you think you need to have a boost, make what I call the Bug Buster. The Bug Buster is a capsule that includes 10 drops of Thieves in it, 8 drops of oregano, and 2 drops of frankincense. That is what we used before Inner Defense came out on the market, and it works. You can take up to 3 a day, and it will boost. It will help fight. It will help with your natural body's systems to help fight off those things. If you diffuse Thieves, it will kill airborne bacteria in 10 to 15 minutes. And put Thieves on the bottom of your feet before you leave the house every morning. This helps to boost the immune system throughout the day. So again, Thieves, kind of our standby, our daily household word, right? In Thieves is both clove and rosemary, and both of these are great to diffuse, to disinfect the air and protect against infections. Clove has a numbing effect. You can place 1 drop on the back of the tongue for tickling coughs. And both of these oils can be taken in capsules. Both of these oils are anticoagulant. They have anticoagulant properties and should be of concern if you're already on a blood thinner like warfarin, or if you take an aspirin a day. And I don't recommend that anybody take aspirins every day for whatever reason. It'd be better if you took oils that helped keep your blood viscosity normal. And that would be lemon and clove. And you can take a capsule of those 2 oils together every day. The best diffuser for eliminating bacteria and viruses is the Aromalux, and we can't get that anymore. And I think one of the things that we need to be writing to Young Living about is a pure oil diffuser. So join me as we request Young Living to come out with a new pure oil diffuser. We have the mist diffusers, but that mist is coming out in water, and it's not quite as strong, and it's not as effective against mold. So I was able to get another Aromalux when I was in Ecuador this spring, and I'm grateful that I got it, because if mine goes, I'll have a backup. Okay, let's talk about some supplements to support a strong immune system. ImmuPro. This contains the essential oil of orange, but it provides the benefits of natural immune supporting polysaccharides that are found in the Ningxia wolfberry. And it has beta glucan, and this has been shown in studies to enhance the immune system's response and to help maintain cholesterol levels that are already within normal range. But ImmuPro contains reishi and maitake mushrooms, which support the activity of antibodies and natural killer cells. This formula is enhanced with calcium, zinc, and we need zinc right now, selenium and copper, all needed for proper immune function. I always recommend that you take ImmuPro up to 2 chewable supplements a night, but you could probably get by with 1. And we take it at night before we go to bed, because this is when it's going to benefit the immune system the most. During the body's time of rest, you're going to get maximum results. It's an excellent immune booster for those under extreme stress as well. And for babies that are not sleeping, and for people who are having trouble sleeping, I would suggest adding ImmuPro. Here's that inner defense I was talking about. It reinforces systemic defenses, creates unfriendly terrain for yeast and funguses, promotes healthy respiratory function, and contains potent essential oils like oregano, thyme, and thieves. These are all rich in thymol and carvacrol and eugenol. All of these will help to support the immune system. These are in a liquid soft gel, and they dissolve quickly for maximum results. If you get sensitive stomach with this, take it with food. Okay, that's inner defense. And you should always have, I try to keep 3 bottles of inner defense, available in my home for, taking. Now, we were taking inner defense every day during the master cleanse, because Tom Wolsheim, who is a great facilitator for the master cleanse, he recommends it. It will kill parasites and any rogue bacteria and viruses. Okay, multigreens, guys, that this is one of my favorites. This is going to supercharge your immune system with nutritious chlorophyll. This helps the body maintain a high energy level as well. It boosts the vitality with the glandular, nervous, and circulatory systems. And it's made from spirulina, alfalfa sprouts, barley grass, bee pollen, Pacific kelp, and of course, we don't have a supplement without therapeutic grade essential oils. It has rosemary and lemon, lemongrass, and melissa. And lemongrass is so good for combating fungus. Take daily, and I take up to 6 a day. I love my multigreens. I would not have the energy that I have if it wasn't for my multigreens. Super B is also very important because B vitamins are essential for normal function of the immune response, but more importantly, cell-to-cell communication. If your macrophages and your B cells and your T cells are not able to communicate because you haven't given them what they need, you're going to have a breakdown when it comes to deployment and when it comes to fighting the enemy. A daily must-have for those experiencing high levels of stress because your body is using those things up. Vitamin B6 plays an important role in the immune response, and a recent investigation of healthy elderly subjects in a vitamin B6 repletion study indicates that B6 deficiency impairs interleukin-2 production and lymphocyte proliferation. And lymphocytes are important, aren't they? They're the white blood cells that are attackers. They're the troops. And in another study in HIV-1 infected patients, they found that impaired immune responsiveness in patients that had a compromised vitamin B6 status. So see how important it is to have our B vitamins? And you should take it every day. Super C, and we're talking a lot about zinc and Super C right now during all the summer months because C is vital for immunity. It promotes leukocyte formation. And vitamin C, our Super C, will give you a 1,083% of the recommended daily dietary intake of vitamin C. If you take what's recommended on the bottle, which I think is 2. The beauty of our vitamin C is it's a whole food. So it has the bioflavonoids, it has the rutin and the minerals to balance the electrolytes and enhance the effectiveness and the absorption of vitamin C. You get some of this C from, Walgreens or Sam's or wherever you buy the generic brands, and you're getting ascorbic acid. You're not getting a whole food in most cases. That's like putting really poor fuel in a finely tuned race car. Kerosene. Use the best. We have the best race car here. Those under physical stress, or if you drink alcohol, smoke, or take certain medications, it depletes your vitamin C fast. And you should be supplementing every single day. And you can take 2 vitamin C 3 times a day. What your body doesn't use because it's water soluble, you're just going to pee it out anyway. Our Super C also contains the essential oils of orange, tangerine, lemon, grapefruit, and lemongrass. The immune system is strongly influenced by the intake of nutrients. Several cells of the immune system can accumulate vitamin C and need the vitamin to perform their task. Thus, a vitamin C deficiency results in reduced resistance against certain pathogens, whilst a higher supply enhances several immune system parameters. Supplementation of vitamin C is most effective in cases of physical strain or insufficient intake of the vitamin. And we would be amiss if we did not talk about supporting the bowel with the best probiotic on the market. Remember, our probiotic strain actually permeates the inside of the colon walls. It attaches itself and then proliferates. So it grows in there. That's why it's important that you always take your probiotic at night. Allow it to do what it does best, grow and multiply. It has the best adhesion of any probiotic known. Within each capsule is a special prebiotic mix developed especially for these blends to provide unmatched enhancement of culture growth. And now that the weather is starting to get cooler, now is the time to stock up with lots of bottles of Life 9 so that you have enough to get you through next summer. That's what I do. I'm not ordering Life 9 when it's 94 degrees out here and have it sitting on my porch where it's going to destroy that live bacteria. I order my Life 9 in the winter, and I order an extra 6 to 10 bottles of it throughout the winter so that I have it all summer long. Sometimes you just have to be proactive. You have to think ahead. So this is a blend of the most resilient probiotics studied with proven ability to colonize the gut and promote immunity. That's not to say that there's not good probiotics out there, but if you have an opportunity to get the best, this is what I recommend. The best. All right, so I'm going to recommend some things for 90 days to a healthier immune system. First of all, you need to be a member of Young Living so that you can get your items, your products at wholesale. I don't want anybody paying 24% above wholesale. You know, our money is precious and we want to be frugal stewards. And so getting yourself a premium starter kit to start with, you're going to get Thieves in there, you're going to get Frankincense, you're going to get lemon. All three of those are really, really good for supporting the immune system. You're also going to get some Digize, which is good for the gut. You're going to get some Raven, which is good for the respiratory system. Some lavender, some Panaway. You're going to get some great oils in here. Plus, you're going to get the Ningxia Wolfberry and 2 packets of Ningxia Red. And you're going to get a hand sanitizer. And I think they're giving a hand sanitizer and a spray, a Thieves spray. Step 2, once you're a wholesale buyer, if you're already a wholesale buyer, you're already past that. You want to make sure that you're on Essential Rewards. This is a monthly shipment. And now we have free shipping anytime that you have 100 PV or more. This way, you're going to be getting product for free because you're going to get 10% back for the first 3 months. And 90 days is 3 months. So you might as well get free product, or at least points to buy free product. After 3 months, in the 4th month, it goes up to 20% rebate on everything you buy on Essential Rewards. And that goes up to 25% rebate for the rest of your life once you're, whoa, we've got somebody unmuted. Just a minute here. Mute all. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, you get 25% off your, well, actually 25% in product points for you to spend on whatever you want to spend it on, you know, other products. And then you get free products on top of that. I mean, Essential Rewards is a no-brainer. If you have embraced Young Living as a lifestyle, you have to be on Essential Rewards, because otherwise you're leaving money on the table every single month. And we have so many things to choose from, and they're all good quality. So think about that. Some suggestions for your first month might be the Life 9 and Inner Defense and 2 bottles of Ningxia Red. All of these are going to support the immune system. So that's going to be around $100. You know, that'll give you free shipping. It's good. The second month, you might want to look into ImmuPro, maybe a bottle of Mountain Savory. Make sure that you have your Super C and your Super B. And maybe for the 3rd month, you're going to get some additional frankincense because you might have used what was in your premium starter kit, and then 2 more bottles of Ningxia Red. There's so many things that you can add. You can add additional oregano. You can get your bottle of ImmuPower. You can get your, I mean, there's just some of the things that we talked about tonight. So here are 10 healthy tips to keep your immune system alive and well. Eat nutritious, well-balanced meals. And I mean, stay away from genetically modified foods and sugar. Do some kind of exercise at least 30 minutes every day. And if you have an opportunity to have a rebounder or a vibration plate of some sort to help strengthen the, actually help get the lymph moving, I highly recommend that. Enjoy the outdoors, get some fresh air and sunshine every day if you can. Keep a positive attitude. Get at least 8 hours of restful sleep per night. Some people do better on 7.5, that would be me. Live in the moment and become stress-free. Know that everything happens in your world for a reason. Embrace it instead of fighting it. Be grateful and keep a journal. A gratitude journal is wonderful. If you can write down 10 things that you're grateful for every morning, this will change your life. Have a sense of humor, nourish your spirit, and live, laugh, and love. I want to highly recommend that you, if you're on my team, the Diamond Miners team, that you join our team page, our Facebook page. Some resources that I use tonight are from PubMed.org. If you're interested in getting an essential oils desk reference, I think there's still some left before they're going to stop publishing. So I think it's because of the FDA, we cannot publish the essential oils desk reference anymore. So if you want to get one before they stop publishing them, well, they've already stopped publishing. They're just selling what they have left. DiscoverLSP.com. You're going to see these books go up to prices of thousands of dollars. I've seen the PDR, the very first essential oils desk reference, for $2,000. So get these while you can. They're running around $75 right now. I just want to thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to now look at the chat and see if there are any questions. Eileen says, I've been using Juvaflex for liver and lymphatic detoxification. Good choice, Eileen. April says, I had a lot of fevers as a baby and a child, but she's doing much better now. Eileen says, what types of allergies? Just seasonal or all types? All types. Allergies are caused by protein antigens. That's why you can't be allergic to essential oils, because there are no proteins in essential oils. You might be sensitive to them, but you can't be allergic to them. Eileen says she has Egyptian gold. She got it for free on her July ER, Essential Rewards. Yes, they'll come out with it and give it to us every once in a while. Protect it, love it. April says she has 2 Aromoluxes, but one is glitched and the other one's normal. Gail says, I find I sleep better sooner and more soundly when I take an ImmuPro before bed. I agree, Gail. Nancy says, looking for more zinc. Why doesn't Young Living have a separate zinc supplement? Because we have whole food supplements. When you look at our B vitamins, it's all of the B. When you look at the C, it's all of the C. We have zinc in the whole food supplements. So if you want to get a synthetic zinc, go ahead. I don't recommend getting an isolated synthetic zinc. I recommend taking it in whole food. You just take more. You just take more of the whole food. Take more vitamin C. Take more ImmuPro. How many of their products should we combine to get all we can? Well, I can't tell you how much I would just be taking my B vitamins. This is what I do. I take my master formula. I take my B vitamins. I take my C. I take D3 or D. I take my multigreens every day. These are ones that I take every day, and that will keep you healthy. Oh, Carol says she has a vibration plate. Yeah, use it every day. It's great. I have to go to a store in a small mall, in a store in a mall tomorrow, and wonder what more I should do to protect myself. Well, I would be putting Thieves on the bottom of my feet. I would be bringing my hand sanitizer. I would be spraying the inside of my mask with Thieves. I would be taking inner defense before I go anywhere. You know, all of these things will help to support the immune system. Good comments, though. Love your comments. Anybody else want to say anything or have any comments they'd like to share? What is a vibration plate? I was explaining it earlier. It's a very heavy metal plate that vibrates and you stand on it. Gary had one in his gym when I went to Ecuador. I have a Body Vibe, it's called, in my gym. There are a number of different brands that you can look up. I have a few friends that Vonnie has one. I have a few friends that have them. They're very good. Where do you purchase it? Let me get the name of mine and then you can look it up on the internet. Faye, I think I'll text it to you on the phone. Is it safe to spray the mask with Thieves if you have asthma? Thieves is supportive to the lungs. In fact, I would be using it if I had asthma because you need to be breathing in oil so that you can help your lung capacity. Yes. I also gave some mask recipes on the other classes that I had these last couple of weeks. If you want to listen to those are on my YouTube channel with all the rest of my classes. As a matter of fact, I think I will stop recording.